I can move how I want to move, and can't nobody be like, oh well, you did this or you gotta nah. Got my own shit. When you're going through shit, believe it or not, nobody really cares. And it's not that they don't care in the sense of like they don't want it to be better for you, but a lot of people got their own shit going on. Let me know. Like, have you traveled alone? Do you like traveling alone? What's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's your boy Ian. Getting through another vlog. So I was having this conversation the other day. Well, really, somebody asked me a question, and I was like, "Man, how you like? I really see you be by yourself." And like, this what gave me the idea to come up with this video, just to talk a little bit again about my experience and why I feel there is power in doing things alone. So I'll start by saying like, some of my best growth has come from me being alone. Like, you know, it's when I wasn't surrounded by people, when I was able to just deal with whatever I was dealing with alone. I think like we focus a lot on community, and while that's important, it's also important to be comfortable with, you know, doing things by yourself, getting through things by yourself, doing activities by yourself. I think that is so important. And we'll touch on a few different ways of why I think it's important and how it helps. Now, of course, you don't want to almost put yourself into a box where you don't have anybody to talk to and you just feel like, you know, only your thoughts are driving you, but it should be a healthy balance. You know, being alone removes distraction. Just that off the rip. You don't have to worry about other people's input on what you got going on or what you may believe or be doing. Sometimes your goal require you to be alone. It's not everybody's vision to do what you do. And when you're alone, there's no audience. So, you know what I mean? And you build strength in that. You build resilience. If you're accustomed to people like clapping for you, or like with everything with social media now, it's like people are like addicted to these likes and stuff like that. And it's like, it's a false sense of security. Because what does it really mean? If you get off social media for a few months, more than half of those people ain't even gonna reach out to you. So, you know, it's like a false sense of security. So you got to be able to, day in and day out, be able to clap for yourself. Like working out. I remember when I first started working out, I started by myself because I've always been kind of a loner in a sense. I just feel like I do my best work alone. When I first started working out, I started working out from home actually, and it was cool. I used to follow like YouTube workouts. Shout out Scooby Workouts. Like, he really put me on to a lot of stuff. He was the first guy, and he was doing like, you know, workouts alone at home, and that gave me the strength to when I got to the gym. Again, I didn't really need nobody to go to the gym with. Is it cool to work out with people? Yes, because sometimes you'll work out a little harder, but for years I've been going to the gym by myself, and what I think has built that for me, that independence. I mean, I'm not dependent on somebody going with me. I've noticed a lot of times when you start with a gym partner and y'all may go a couple weeks, couple months, the minute their schedule changes for whatever reason, then you may stop going as well. And again, how are you gonna stick to your gym goals when your whole, you know, attendance is tied to going with somebody else? So I think it's important, like even that alone, to just, again, it's cool if you can go somewhere, but get into that habit and being comfortable of going by yourself, day in and day out. In late night gym sessions, I mean, again, and one of the best things to me about rolling solo is I get to go when I want and leave when I want. Like, again, I've always been a lone wolf. Like, I do have a lot of friends, and you know, there's certain groups that I roll around from time to time, but on a day-to-day, you may catch me by myself. It's just like how I like to rock. And I love it. I wouldn't have it for other days. Else. Never needed a whole pack to roll with. I carry that into like everything. Like, again, all my activities, it's nice to do them with other people, but I'm comfortable doing it by myself. And I go to the range by myself, day in and day out, by myself. And I get that discipline. Doing what I have to do, get without depending on something that's distracting me. You know what I mean? We don't realize a lot of times, because again, no two people have the same goals and or started from the same place. People along your journey is really distracting you a lot of times. It's not really helping you. So lock in for you. not for nobody else. You don't need everybody to start with you. If you want to learn how to shoot, you want to go to the range, go through the proper steps to get your permits, and or if you just want to go shoot and learn how to shoot for the time being. Again, you don't need nobody. You can go to the range. They'll have instruction. They have range safety officers that are be more than willing to help you at most ranges. I don't know. I think for me, it's like therapeutic. I talk to people sometimes when I realize that have never done things by themselves. They've never traveled, never gone to eat by themselves. All these things, and it's just like, damn, you don't know what you're missing. You're so accustomed just to being under people that you can't even like go outside by yourself. I don't know. I don't know what that feels like. When you're going through shit, believe it or not, nobody really cares. And it's not that they don't care in the sense of like they don't want it to be better for you, but a lot of people got their own shit going on. You don't want to get to a place where it's just feel like because whatever you're going through, you feel a need to like unload that on other people. You know what I mean? And again, that's like crutches. Because then you're not really focused on solving your issue. You just focus on talking about your issues and going around in circles with hearing different opinions of how you can solve it when you know what you need to do to fix your situation. And that's why you need solitude. You need to separate. You need some time to yourself. Like, when you talk about relationships, and this is from experience, I think from like grade school straight up into high school, I always was in a relationship. And it wasn't until I finally wasn't after, a decade plus, almost, a decade plus, and it was just like, yo, that's not healthy. Just to be going back and forth in relationships and never really getting a chance to learn myself. And it wasn't until I wasn't in a relationship that I got to really, again, learn about myself, learn now what I didn't want, what I wanted, who I needed to be for, the relationship that I now wanted, and so forth. If you're always in relationships and you never give yourself time to heal and or just reflect, then you just become dependent on people. And that's not a good, you should never be in relationships from a sense of dependency, whether that's mentally, financially, like spiritually. You should come whole and then get into a relationship. Because now you and the person can meet at a common ground and build together, instead of you coming from a deficiency and now again that relationship is lopsided because you're more likely maybe draining that person of that and so forth. So I took a trip out to Miami for a few days, and while I did have friends here and I have family down here, I took the trip by myself. I even had my own condo. I had my own whip. Why? Because I like to move when I like to move. I like my space. You know what I mean? I don't want to wear damn now. When I want to leave, I gotta wait till you want to leave, or you're not in your space. You like to, I don't know, do all kind of weird shit. People just get older and have their little quirks and shit like that. And I like my space. I like my privacy. I like my quietness. I'm too grown. I ain't really finna share at this point. I ain't sharing rooms, unless that's the what we going for a particular trip. We going on a cabin or we renting a big house or whatever. But I'm gonna get my own room. I'm gonna get my own whip. I just like to roll like that. And in that way, again, I'm happy. And I don't mean that, like I said, I'm always alone or I ain't got with people and I ain't rocking with people, but I can move how I want to move. And can't nobody be like, oh, well, you did this or you gotta, nah. Got my own shit. Let me know, like, have you traveled alone? Do you like traveling alone? If not, why haven't you traveled alone? You know what I mean? And I think it's definitely getting more and more popular because I feel like with YouTube, with more and more people sharing solo travels, then it'll help other people be like, damn, I think I could do that. But yeah, I ain't need that to know. No, I'm gonna get on a plane by myself. I get on a bus, train, wherever I gotta go. I'll do it dolly. And I'm totally fine with that. And I've done solo travel too when I wasn't meeting anyone. It was just me going to, wherever my destination is by myself. With that, you're gonna build confidence. That's gonna help you just be a more confident person in general. Because again, now after you do it a few times, it just feels like second nature. Where again, you'll go farther trips, you'll go longer trips, and then you gonna meet people. That's an unknown fact to a lot of people. If you've never done it, people be afraid that they're gonna be alone. Like, nah, you gonna meet people, because a lot of people are traveling by themselves, and just when you go into other places, other cities, people are generally nice. Like, unless you're going to the fucking, the hood or some shit where it's just like ain't nobody finna make friends in the hood. But you're traveling, you're going to resorts, you're going to conventions, you're going to festivals, you're gonna meet other people. You're gonna meet other people, and sometimes those be the best relationships, because again, it's different perspectives. Maybe they from where they are, or they're traveled to that same destination by themselves, and whatever the case may be. So you get to branch out, you get to build new connections, new friendships. It's priceless. Shit, your significant other may not be in your city. Get out your city, and don't wait for your homegirls or your homeboys to be like, yo man, we gotta take this trip. Alright. If that trip just stay in the group chat and ain't moved, it's time to again plan that solo trip. If you think about it, like as you get older, due to like growing families and friends and coworkers, you catch yourself realizing that damn, you don't spend no time alone. You don't got no time alone. You leave the house, your drive to work may be your only time alone, and then when you get to work, you with people. When you're on lunch, you with people. When you come back home, it's your significant other, maybe kids, other family members, and that just keeps going and going. And you go, damn, when do I have time for myself? Like proper time, not a little hour here, 2 hours here. Like again, if you feel like you're always dependent on people, now is the time to try it. You ain't gotta go too far, but take a little trip by yourself. Book your room. You know what I mean? A few days and just enjoy being by yourself. Enjoying not having to work with someone else, or depending on itinerary of what y'all want to do. You can eat where you want to eat. You can leave where you want to go. Like I think it was my grandmother. My grandmother was alone in a sense where I remember when I was growing up, she would always we used to have to beg her to come to our house, and when she finally did come, she'd always still want to go back to her crib. She wasn't finna stay over like that. Like you had to beg her to stay. And what I realized is that she just liked her space. Like, and that's fire. Like, you work hard and you create a space that you like being enjoying. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, like I said, you don't want to go to the extreme and just put yourself in a corner in a box where you're not interacting with people. You know what I mean? You just always by yourself. That is not healthy. We're social creatures. We're not meant to like live like that. But in this day and age with electronics and all these screens just always occupying our attention, in addition to just the people we have to deal with on a daily basis, it's like an overload. That little piece by yourself, man, I'm telling you, it's like it'd be like a form of therapy where your thoughts can just exist. You don't have to respond to people. You don't have to perform. You know what I mean? You could just be. And for me, some of my best ideas and just epiphanies and just moments of like bliss has been by myself. Really and truly, when I think about it, like by myself. Because again, I get to like fully think. I get to brainstorm, like just exist. So like I said, I just wanted to make this little quick vlog because I think it could help someone. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Are you a loner in a sense where are you comfortable being alone? Because again, it's not alone in a negative connotation where it's like you by yourself, you just socially awkward. No, but you can roll alone. Like, are you like that? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? Let me know. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one.